everybody, this is Dave from Team Cinema ProMED, and today we're going to do an unboxing of the all-new Cinema ProMED video headset for your dental practice. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our box, and we're going to take everything out, and I want to show you basically what is supposed to be in the box and what you get, and then we'll go through a quick setup for you. So the first thing we have here is the lens cleaning cloth. We've got our Cinema ProMED Quick Start. Everything that I'm going to cover in the video today is on your Quick Start, so if you want to come back and reference it, maybe watch the video first and then go back and do your quick start and reference it from there. I'll take out the little black box. This is our power box. Take out the goggles. We're going to open up the stems just like so. Take out our headphones. Take out our eye mask. Our power supply. And I'm just going to take everything out of the box first, and then we're going to get rid of some of the packaging and things like that and get that out of the way. Now, there are 3 bags inside this little compartment here. There's 2 cables and then 1 little bag with some O-rings in it. You're only going to need 1 of the 2 cables. The second cable in the box is a backup cable. It's an HDMI cable. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the first cable out. Get rid of the packaging. I'm going to remove the O-rings from their little Ziploc baggie. Okay, put that away. All right, and we're just going to set that to the side for just a moment. So, got all of our parts out. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my goggles and I'm going to take one of the little white O-rings and slide it over the stem, just like so, and roll it all the way up to the front. And then we'll do the same for the other side. Take another O-ring here, and we're going to slide it all the way up to the front of the stem like that. What these little O-rings are for are they're cable keepers, so it's just going to keep the cable from flopping around. Second step is we're going to attach our headphones to the goggles. So what we're going to want to do, you'll see that the headphones have 2 little cables sticking out with barrel connectors on the end. These are audio cables. You have a left and a right, one for each ear. So, and you want to make sure you have the left. There's the L right there, and right, the R right there. Make sure that they're correct, left and right. And then there's these brackets that attach the headphones to the goggles. We're going to want to turn those so that the fat part of the bracket is on the bottom, on the right side, and on the left side. Okay. So the next step, we're going to actually attach the headphones to the goggles. So to do that, we're just going to take the stem and slide it through, leave about 1 inch of the stem on the back, and then we'll do it on the left side, same thing. Okay, now our headphones are attached to the goggles. Next step, we're going to take the audio cable on the left side, run it through the O-ring, just like so, and then on the left side of the goggles, there's 2 ports, 1 small square one and 1 round one. The small square is for your HDMI input connector, and then the round one is for your audio output. So we're just going to connect it like that. And then the other side, same thing. Run the barrel connector through the O-ring and plug that one in. Okay. Next step is we're going to attach the face mask, or we call it the eye shield. Call it whatever you want. To do that, you just put it over the lenses and then push it on the outside until it snaps, and that just clicks right in place. It's going to push these open a little bit, and that's fine. That's the way it's supposed to work. And then the next step, we're going to take our HDMI cable and we're going to attach it to the goggles. There's 2 ends of the cable. They look different. One has got a larger, fatter end, and the other one's got a small one with a right angle on it. So what we're going to work with first here is the small end. And what we're going to do next is take the O-ring, the 3rd O-ring, and we're going to run that right over the cable, just like so. And we'll try to keep it here. And then the other head of the cable, we're going to run through this first O-ring that we put on the left side. Okay. And then take the connector and insert it into the little square port. That's our HDMI input, and you see we've got the HDMI cable run through the O-ring. So now we've got both cables in there. Then there's a little cradle here there that holds the cable, and then the third thing is taking the O-ring and sliding it over the back, just like so. All right, so now we've got our headset put together. We've got cable. The other end of the cable is an HDMI, so let's go ahead and plug the HDMI in, and you'll see there's 2 sides of the black box that have connectors. Okay, there's a side with the power switch, and it's got 2 HDMI ports, and the other side there's no power switch, it's just the other HDMI. This is your input here, okay? So we're gonna go on the output because we're outputting from the box to the goggles, and you'll see that there's two icons. There's one with a square and then one that kind of looks like this headset here. So we're gonna plug the headset in here. This secondary output is for a computer monitor. So if you're gonna, we'll show you in the next video how to connect a computer monitor to it. All right, finally, we're gonna connect the power adapter to the black box so that we'll be ready to go. And to do that, we're just gonna take the ties off, undo here the power cable. All right, stretch it out. Now this connector here, the connector on the end of the power brick is just a USB-C connector. So if you've got like a Samsung phone or a newer smartphone or a newer tablet, most of those phones have a USB-C connector. So you can also use that cable with a USB port to power this. We'll get into that in another video as well. But for now, we're just gonna plug this in, and to do that, this side of the box has 4 ports on it. There's a USB port, that's a standard USB output power port. There's an HDMI input port, a power input port, and this is an auxiliary port for auxiliary output, which we'll get into later on in another video. But for now, we're just gonna take USB-C, put it with a little power icon, and then we'll take the other end and I'll plug it into my power strip over here, like that. Okay, so we've got a green light here on our power box, that's good. And we've got power here to our goggles, that's good. And we are up and ready to go. In the next video, we'll talk about how to connect an HDMI input to the goggles and how to go through cleaning and adjusting focus and so on.